I never thought I'd have to make this video, but the mental health community that I belong to as a licensed psychotherapist is reminding me to remind my clients of the importance of understanding that selfie use, excessive selfie use, is really causing havoc in relationships. It's hard on your self-esteem, and it's really hard on your relationship security. And I have to say, over the past 6 months, more and more of my clients have come in with conflict due to excessive use of selfies, taking selfies by one partner. So what happens when you take selfies excessively? Well, the whole makeup of it. A selfie is a picture of you. And when you take a picture of you, it prevents you from being in that moment. It takes you out, puts you in another mind frame of that it has to look good. So you're editing it, and then you're turning it into something that no longer represents you. So in a sense, you're saying, look at me, I want all this attention. But what they're looking at you for is where you're at and what you're promoting, and what you felt at the moment, if you were enjoying yourself, is completely destroyed with the taking and the posting of the selfie. So what ways is it particularly really hurting relationships? Well, the first thing is it screams of insecurity. When other people see constant excessive selfies of you, they know that you are needing attention. You're trying to draw attention to what you're doing, who you're with, or where you are at. So it makes you look from others' points of view as being very insecure. And I think that's projected or fed back to you when you're in real relationships, if you're in real relationships with these people, that they'll say, yeah, I noticed that. They kind of get sick of it. They start kind of withdrawing from you. What your partner does is they may tolerate it for a while if it's a new relationship, but they start asking themselves too, like, is this person really insecure? And should they need to constantly do this and edit these? Secondly, it's really a search for validation. What ends up happening is you need the likes, you need the recognition. And if you don't get that, you start prioritizing that need over what's going on in your relationship. So your partner can say, cool it, don't worry about it. Like they're probably sleeping, or they're probably on vacation, or doing something fun themselves. You can't understand that, and you don't, because the priority for you becomes the validation with a like or with a comment of how good you looked in that selfie. Number 3, you surrender a part of yourself. Like if you're spending so much time doing this, you're creating a person that really isn't real. It's a false representative of you. And therefore, you start having like imposter syndromes. People start saying, oh, I saw your post on Instagram. It was so cool. And you may have even kind of forgotten about it. But that wasn't how you were really feeling. That photo doesn't represent what you were really feeling. Maybe you just had a conflict in your relationship. And so you start beginning to feel like you're a fake with your selfies, and your real self isn't really discovered, or you lose touch with that side. The next part is a loss of self-esteem. Because guess what? You put those photos up, you start feeling more insecure, you start looking at other people's, you start comparing them. And then if some people don't say much to you, you begin starting to feel really kind of lost, kind of vulnerable. And your relationship with your partner, meanwhile, is getting more distant because they don't like it. And they see that they're really not necessary and that they're not a priority for you. They're really just kind of somebody to have along, maybe to be in the selfie with you or to take you to the place, but they're no longer really with you. And this starts taking a number and really dragging your self-esteem down, making you feel worse about yourself. And lastly, it really does. It's all about superficiality. If you have a bad hair day, a bad look day, you can't edit it enough, you can't put enough filters, you start feeling bad about it. All these things are bad for your relationship. I suggest you don't do more than one selfie a day, and if that, post about 3 out of 4 of those. You'll get more likes, and plus your relationship won't suffer as detrimental effects that way.